What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new album from Run the Jewels called RTJ4. Now, Run the Jewels is a duo made up of Killer Mike from Atlanta and LP from New York. They both rap, and LP handles most of the production on here. And they have been on one hell of a run since they came together as a duo. They obviously had careers before they became Run the Jewels. They both did a lot of excellent things, but together, man, they are fucking unstoppable. Run the Jewels 1, 2, and 3 were all critically acclaimed projects, and if you ask someone which one is their favorite, any answer is the right answer. And now we have this one right here, which was one of the year's most highly anticipated releases. They did release it a little bit early, actually, and they gave it to us for free, which I thought was really dope because we are living in some turbulent times right now. Lots of wild shit is going on, and Run the Jewels is hitting the spots. Now, we did get a couple of singles leading into this project. I thought Ooh La La was a lot of fun. You're getting this whimsical piano production and great chemistry from LP and Killer Mike, as well as some scratches from DJ Premier and a hook that samples Greg Nice. So this one doesn't get too heavy or complicated with the bars and lyricism. I just thought it was a really fun track. But the song Yankee and the Brave, that is one of my favorite songs on here, and as a single I did prefer that one. You're getting these heavy ass angry drums. They are heavier and angrier than 93 Yokozuna, and Killer Mike comes right out of the gate snapping over top of it. I love the way that he attacked this beat right here, and LP delivered some great lines, like when he says, "Scammer bliss when you putting villains in charge of shit, all of us targeted, all we doing is arguing." In my opinion, he's just addressing the fact that the people in power, the rich people, the wealthy, the politicians, they're just laughing at us and getting wealthier and more powerful while we're all just arguing and fighting with each other over a bunch of bullshit. So we should come together and try to make things better for everyone. That's what I took from it. And, you know, they've never been the type of people to shy away from expressing political views and social commentary, which is why I really appreciate them all the damn time, especially now, as I said. One of the immediate standouts on here is Walking in the Snow. You're going to hear Killer Mike speaking on the crooked education system, but the lines that really hit on this track are as follows, and they do come from Killer Mike. He spits, "And every day on evening news they feed you fear for free, and you so numb you watch the cops choke out a man like me until my voice goes from a shriek to a whisper, I can't breathe. And you sit there in the house on the couch and watch it on TV, the most you give's a Twitter rant and call it a tragedy." That shit right there is very powerful, and it's also haunting because this is an old verse that was in reference to Eric Garner, but now with the murder of George Floyd, you can see how that aligns. So if you're not getting feels from hearing that shit, you must be numb. I thought it was just amazing how he brought that to this song, and he also speaks on the cycle of these tragedies where these videos go viral, then the media starts putting them all over the damn place, it becomes a big topic, we do all our social media stuff, and then the cycle dies down and it begins again. So great content on that song from Killer Mike, and LP has great lines on here as well, including, "Funny fact about a cage, they're never built for just one group, so when that cage is done with them and you're still poor, it come for you." Just speaking on how everybody can be a target, and obviously speaking on what's going on with ICE. And he does go further into that on this next line when he says, "Pseudo-Christians, y'all indifferent, kids in prison ain't a sin. Shit, if even one scrap of what Jesus taught connected, you'd feel different. What a disingenuous way to piss away existence, I don't get it. I'd say you lost your goddamn minds if y'all possessed one to begin with." These lines speak very clearly for themselves. They really hit me when I was listening to this song. I would say this is probably my favorite song of the year so far. It just bangs, coming through with a great message. And we got to shout out Gangsta Boo as well because she's featured on here. She just does a little part, but I always got love for Gangsta Boo because she's been holding it down forever. Excellent production on this track. I like the way it builds up and down with intensity, just like most of the beats on here. I feel like there's a lot of different things that go on with the production, as I will break down even further. Like on the song Outta Sight, as you hear this beat, you might think of DOC's song. It's funky enough. It really does have a little bit of an 80s hip-hop feel to it, and I did get an 80s hip-hop feel from The Ground Below as well. This one had some rock influence happening, but I would put that song as my least favorite because I wasn't big on the production, and I didn't really love the content or the bars on there, at least in comparison to the other tracks. Outta Sight though, you have 2 Chainz coming through with a pretty solid verse. I thought he fit in well, and you have Mike and L showing more of that amazing chemistry as Mike actually draws parallels from them to Ghostface and Raekwon, who also had great chemistry. So that was a great track. I did like Outta Sight. Ground Below would be my least favorite. And while I have been talking on the production, I've actually seen some people complaining that the production on this isn't that rich and that it gets kind of samey, but I disagree with that. Pretty much every beat I've spoken on so far has a bit of a different feel and sound to it, and there's some other stuff on here, like Never Look Back, for example, where you get this dreamy synth joint as LP and Killer Mike reflect on lessons and habits that they picked up from their parents. Not one of my favorite tracks, not one of my least favorites, but I thought it was pretty good. And we also got to shout out the song Pulling the Pin. This one comes around with a more slower paced production. You're going to get Mavis Staples delivering some haunting vocals on the hook and some piano and guitar on the back end. So there are a lot of different sounds here. I thought there was quite a bit of variety, although obviously you are going to get the same themes and ideas throughout sonically and with the content. That's what makes it cohesive, but I didn't feel like I was listening to the same song over and over, which I did see some people saying, and I just completely disagree with that. But there's also some exceptional lyricism on Pulling the Pin. Both MCs are rapping about how the people in power, it just seems like they're invincible as they do whatever the fuck they want and just continue to break rules and take advantage of everybody. So again, with everything going on in the world, this music is hitting the spot right now, man. It really came at the perfect time. Just some music to get rowdy to, protest to, become inspired, make you want to speak your mind, because that's exactly what Run the Jewels does. We're going to get more of this content on Just. First of all, the bass on this is just thicker than Layla Monroe. It really fucking hits. And I love that hook from Pharrell where he says, the 13th Amendment says that slavery is abolished. Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. That right there is just a reminder of how the US was built on money and power via slavery, and how that imagery and some of those ideas are still very present today, man. You're going to see it everywhere. The effects, obviously, of slavery is very prevalent still today. Go read a fucking book. I'm not going to go on a big rant here about how everything trickles down into Jim Crow, segregation, blah, 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 blah. The information's out there. Do your damn Googles as I hit my mic, but I really did appreciate this track. You're also going to get Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine on here. He's coming through with a very aggressive style like he always does. Just like he did on Close Your Eyes and Count to Fuck from Run the Jewels too. So he always fits in very well with them, and I would like to hear a project from him because I think he's got a lot to say. He's got great bars. That'd be pretty dope if he put out a hip-hop project. I would definitely check it out. Now with Holy Calamafuck, we get an all-out trunk slapper that has jangly production, and this time the bass is just thicker than Prime Pinky. I ain't talking about that sloppy Pinky we seen hanging off a pole a couple years ago. I'm talking about that Prime shit from way back in the day. And here LP is reminding us of his longevity in the game because he's been at it forever, and Killer Mike is touching on how the street life is so often romanticized through hip-hop and other forms of media, but really it's a dangerous thing to be involved in, and people suffer because of it, man. He speaks on PTSD and issues like that. I thought that was cool how he was tying those ideas together right there. Then with Goonies Versus Et, we're getting an all-out banger that incorporates a breakbeat and some saxophone. Thought that was a dope beat. And my favorite lyrical moment on this one comes from Killer Mike, who once again just speaks on those Twitter social media cycles, man, how people get complacent, they're not putting their ideas into action, they're practicing that fake wokeness, all those sorts of things. So I thought that was pretty dope, and I also got to ask you guys to sign off down below with which is the better movie. Is it Goonies or E.T.? Because in my Twitch stream, there you go, shameless plug, we were talking about this album and that song came up, and I forget who it was, but they made a damn good point. So if it was you, please give yourself 10 points and remind me. But they said that Goonies is actually the better movie, while E.T. just has more memorability and nostalgia to it, which that really got me thinking, man. That is a tough call, but we're going to settle this, so vote down below. Whatever comment, just put E.T. or Goonies at the end of it if you know about those movies. But anyway, man, this is a damn good album to me. I don't think it's absolutely perfect, but it is damn close, and I'm going to drop a 9.5 out of 10 on it because I think it's my album of the year so far. I have dropped a couple of 9s, but this one is just hitting different right now. It's banging. It's got great content all over it. The flows and energy throughout are just top tier in my opinion. And even the album's closer, A Few Words for the Firing Squad, or Radiation, it points out once again how the rich and powerful sometimes seem to be the worst of us all, and Killer Mike had a really great verse on this, man. He's speaking on how people have often told him that he would be a great civil rights leader, but his wife worries about that because she needs a husband more than a martyr. I think that's a pretty poignant idea to think about, so I did appreciate him putting out there. And the other cool thing about this song is how, as much as the beat builds up sort of slowly and triumphantly on these horns, on the outro, it loops back to Yankee and the Brave, the intro song. So I think everything here was put together really well. Again, it's my album of the year, but I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. So hit me up in the comment section down below with your thoughts and opinions. I always want to know how you feel. And make sure you do that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.